Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the daily show coming at you from the great state of Florida. One hell of a drug. And wherever you are tuning in from around the world, I want to welcome you to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Today, we're going to discuss it's D-Day, it's Decision Day, it's Election Day in the US of A, and it's time for Bitcoin to choose. Are we going to see more upside or some more downside, a little bit of both, choppiness? I'm going to share my thoughts on what I see happening and transpiring over the next 24 hours as well. We're going to look at the charts and look at some news and some historical indicators. Before we do that, as always, you know what I'm going to say? Smash that like button. If you're a regular watcher, you knew that. And this does help get the channel out to more people and does help support the channel. I really do appreciate everybody who leaves comments, all the kind words and encouragements that you take to write. That does mean a lot to me, and I do read and respond to all of that, and I do get back to all the questions that are left in the comment section as well as soon as I am able to. And don't forget about the cheat sheet that is linked. That's the top link in the description here. You can check that out. Amazing resources in there, including the Stocks with Josh Discord link, which is also in the description of this video and in the cheat sheet, where you can join me in the most amazing Discord on the planet. Certainly there are links there below and plans where you can sign up for that. All right, we're going to jump into the news and we're going to jump into the charts. Now, first of all, I did say to everybody leading into November and just in the last few days that November, the 2nd and 3rd were the November lows for the last three halving cycles. However, I did say, though, those also were weekdays. None of those came on a weekday and none of those came on a weekend. And because November 2nd and 3rd were on a weekend, I did say, who could have warned you of this? Who could have foretold you of this? That November 4th was the first weekday after that, and I felt that the low could come in on the 4th and it could creep into the 4th, okay? What am I thinking now? What are my thoughts coming now? Is the low in on November 4th? Quite possibly, we saw the low yesterday on November 4th. I think it came down to about 66,700. I know because I had a buy order in at 66,600, and certainly had I been, I was otherwise things that I had that I was doing, and so certainly it did missed that and it wicked down and we did not get that buy order fill, but it is still there. I'm thinking of moving it up a little bit there. I should have known to be putting it on 66,600, 666. So there you go. So D-Day is decision time is here. Here's what I think. I think that if the markets believe that there is going to be a red victory, if the red team is going to come strong, that I do believe the market will pump. And if that happens today and there is a red victory, I do think it's quite possible that November 4th was the low. However, if it's quite close and the race is quite tight, then I think, and it's really close, or the blue team is seen as emerging on election day, then I do see there will be, I think we could have more low today on the 5th and possibly the 6th, okay? Now, remember, we do have the Fed rate hike decision coming up on Thursday, I believe, and I do believe if there is a cut, then that is where the market could bounce there if we do see a blue victory. So basically I'm saying if Team Red comes through on today, I think we do, November 4th could have been the low. However, if it's looking close or it's looking like a blue team is going to win, because there are, obviously there is a pro crypto candidate and a party that has attacked crypto relentlessly for the last 4 years, I think that will be seen as bearish. And so therefore I do see that if the race is tight and people don't know which way it's going to go, or if the blue team prevails, I think we could see a lower low on the 5th, possibly the 6th of November over those next couple of days. So that's my thoughts on it on decision day for Bitcoin. Certainly here there is a very good article from the Kobisi letter. Basically they're saying that with nearly 200 million traded on the Kalshi market, prediction markets see a 55% chance of a red win tomorrow. So certainly they're saying basically the market seems to be following this Kalshi, and there is some interesting thoughts there. It'll go down by state, and it'll break it down here: Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, Michigan. Who'll win Michigan? Who'll win Pennsylvania? And so forth. So I think it has some quite good articles there. You can actually go to the Kalshi. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Sorry if I offend anybody if I haven't done, but you can certainly see they provide updates there on the heading into election day there. So certainly that's who I'll be following and keeping an eye on there to see what the markets are betting on and what the markets are predicting, and we'll go from there. Now, obviously, we do see that sometimes there is a little bit of a drop. Certainly election time, we do see some candles here coming down. We saw a bit of a pump and then a drop there. So certainly that's why I'm saying, we might not be quite out of the woods yet, but I think over the long term, we see that the price change, a month before and a month after, it's just all good, green. And I think we'll see the same thing 1 month after the election date. I think we're going to see Bitcoin in the green as well. And certainly, as you can see with the elections here, whenever there has been a little bit of a move, we've just seen straight up. Sure, there's been some down, little bumps along the way, but historically it has always been good for the market. So let's jump into Bitcoin here. And as you can see, the tribal trades trend line strikes again. Having to give you some areas where I'm going to have bids today in case they get picked up. And remember, this is not financial advice, because I'm not a financial advisor. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. Are you not entertained? And so here we go. Certainly the tribal trades trend line strikes again. It is currently holding up price here. It is currently also, the Bitcoin price is being rejected here. We did see a candle come down here. And so what am I looking at? I've got the bid. And if you look, actually, if you switch to the 4-hour time frame, it's the 200 EMA on the 4-hour. That's why I love the 200 EMA. And that's why I switch between time frames to try and find where we could be supported. Okay, so we had the tribal trades trend line here, which is the September high, 66,500. I put it at 66,600, but there is where I should have had my bid at about 67,000. It's up to now, but yesterday when it struck it was around 6,700 or 800 there. So that's where I would put my first bid in, is going to be right at 67,000. So I'm going to move that bid up. I might split this bid and put half of it here at 67,000 and the other half there at 66,600. Certainly my next bid is going to be at the 50-day moving average, which is sitting at 65,250. So probably 65,300. My next bid would be at 63,500. That's where my next order would be. And then going down, we're going to switch back to the daily time frame there. The 200 EMA on the daily is sitting at 61,000. It probably will have climbed up to about 61,900, so about the 62,000 level. And then I'm going to look at the tribal trades trend line, which is sitting at about 60,300. Okay, so 60,300. So I've got one bid, two bids. So that's the trend line, the 200 EMA on the daily, the 200 simple moving average, so that's 3, the 50-day moving average, that's 4, and then I'm going to split my bid up here between the 200 EMA on the daily and the September high tribal trades trend line. So I've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 separate buy orders in there to pick up Bitcoin should we see a flush to the downside. Obviously up from here, I think we could see we break through this trend line here, and where would be a place to get in a trade higher, because obviously if Bitcoin breaks this trend line, which is sitting at about 69,400, we could break above it, retest that as support, and then I would move to the 15-minute time frame to watch that price action and could get in the trade here. But also if we were to break above and then come back and break below, when we retest this very same trend line at exactly the same price, 69,300, that's when I would also get out of the trade at the same place that I entered, losing little to no capital whatsoever. So that's how I'm going to trade this trend line up here. And then obviously we have the tribal trades trend line here, which just keeps going up. And I would say 73,000. If you're swing trading, 73,000 is where I would look to take some profits there. And then obviously if you're still trading for HODL or whatever, you can continue to hold past that and all the way up to 80,000 and higher than that. And certainly if we look at liquidation levels, we can see here that there is some liquidation below price at 67,200. There's more down here at 66,400 level. If we switch to the 24-hour, we're going to have a look again and see what we've got. Look, it came up and tagged that liquidity at 69,000. Certainly there is some below price, again 67,200 and 66,400, so very much the same. As we switch to the 48-hour time, certainly there is still liquidity below price. We could still see a flush down still at those same levels as I just said, to the upside 69,300, and then we're getting into the 70,000 level there. And certainly as we continue to move up the different time frames, you can see there is a big bright yellow at 69,000, 70,000. So I would not be surprised if we tag some liquidity up there, 70,600. And if we move to the weekly time frame, you can just see this actually, and the more you zoom out, the more you see how the market makers are just coming for the liquidity once they've come for all the liquidity to the downside. And there is still some more down there, a good chunk there down at 66,300. 52 million worth of liquidity down there and more. Obviously, there's some lower levels down here, but certainly if you look on the weekly, there is a lot of liquidity to be taken at that 70,000 level, up at 72,000, and then all the way up at 73 and 73,600 level. And you could actually even go to the month time frame here. Let's really zoom out, and you can see just how the market makers just taking out the liquidity levels. When they're done with all the liquidity, they come down, pick up some more, then they go up, pick up some more. There's not much left down here, and now coming down. There is a little concerning one down here, and this is why I have that buy order down at the 200 EMA on the daily at 61,666. There, we got another 666. What's going on? 61,666. There's $160 million worth of liquidity down at that level. So it's possible that we come down and get that. Of course, we don't have to come and get that now. We can come and get that at a later time, or not we, but the market makers can come and get that down at a later time. Okay, well, that's going to wrap it up for today. As always, thank you so much for watching, and until the next episode, which is in just a couple of hours at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll have the Altcoin Show. Happy trading.